Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about some transfer news, and we are first going to talk about Lautaro Martinez. According to GDS, they have said Lautaro Martinez would not leave for any team other than Barcelona. It seems like Barca have beaten Real Madrid and Manchester City in the race to sign Inter Milan striker. So now reading this report, right, and seeing these reports coming out every day, I believe Barcelona, this club, is in a state where it's not will Barcelona sign Martinez. The real question is, who is Barcelona willing to sell for Martinez? Like, when are we going to get Martinez, and who are we going to sell in order to get Lautaro Martinez? And because of the pandemic, it led to a huge financial loss to the club. And the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I want to point this out, is because having that and then adding Xavi's words, because he did say earlier that he wants to bring Neymar in, that I believe that the chances have decreased of Lautaro Martinez coming to FC Barcelona. Because before, it was a 70% chance that Lautaro Martinez would come in the summer, but now seeing all of this, seeing that Xavi is sort of telling Barcelona that Barcelona should get Neymar, and seeing the club's financial instability brings it to a 40% chance. And that's my official opinion at the moment. Martinez going to FC Barcelona, there is a 40% chance. And I would not be surprised if Martinez comes to FC Barcelona in 2021. But who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen by the time we get to the summer of 2020. But what I know is that Neymar is highly more prioritized than Martinez. And I just don't see Barcelona affording Martinez and Neymar in the same summer transfer window now. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Carlos Aleña. According to Sport, Carlos Aleña future is in the air. While Setien intends to count on him next season, Real Betis also want to keep him for another season. Aleña has only played in Sevilla for 2 months before the league was suspended. It will be up to him and the club once the season ends. The 22-year-old midfielder featured regularly in Rubi's starting 11, but slightly lost prominence when Betis suffered in result. When we are talking about Aleña is a player that I highly like. I highly admire his qualities. And this is the question, right? With the season on hold, should we expect Aleña to come back in the summer of 2021? Because Real Betis could say, hey, Barcelona, we have only used Aleña for 2 months. We haven't gotten to use him to his maximum potential, and we would like to continue to use him for next season. And that's very unfortunate to see, because I do want to see Aleña come in the summer of 2020, and I think Barcelona is going to say that. I think Barcelona is going to agree and say, hey, yes, it's okay for Real Betis to keep Aleña for another season because of the pandemic, and Real Betis hasn't been able to use Aleña to its maximum potential. We'll let you have Aleña for another season. So again, it's very unfortunate to see. It's not official yet that Aleña is going to stay at Real Betis for another season, but I believe that's going to happen. And to me, Aleña is that physical player that Barcelona is looking for to add muscle. Aleña can be that player. He's still very young. He's moldable. We can transform him into a player that we need, and Aleña has the capabilities in order to adapt himself to that type of player. And in order for Aleña to for sure come to FC Barcelona is for Quique Setien to actually ask for Aleña to come back. And also, I just don't see Barcelona letting go of Vidal, Rakitic, keeping a aging Busquets, and continuing to loan out Aleña. Something has to be done. Barcelona will need to bring back Aleña. So it's a very 50-50. There are reasons why Barcelona should bring Aleña back for next season, and there are reasons why, which is understandable, that Aleña could be out on loan to Real Betis next season. So Setien has to show that interest, and it's going to have to come down to Aleña's decision if he wants to be at Barcelona next season or continue to be loaned out at Real Betis. Now moving on to the last topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Junior Firpo. According to Sport, Junior Firpo is for sale. Barcelona could include him in the Lautaro deal. The left back is on the market, and Barcelona value him at 20 million euros. So right off the bat, this is absolute nonsense, because this will be a huge gain for FC Barcelona. Like, yes, I would like to see this transfer happen, but in reality, in the actual world of football, this is not going to happen. This is a huge gain for us, but a huge loss for Inter Milan. And Inter Milan will not go down like that. They will not be treated in that way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Inter Milan is a team that has a project. They have a plan in place, and they are always looking to replace their striker if they do ever lose their star man. Because if we look at the recent history of Inter Milan, they continue to operate in the same way. They lost Alexis Sanchez, they replaced him with Icardi. They lost Icardi, they replaced him with Lautaro Martinez, and they also added Lukaku. So to Inter Milan, this makes no sense project wise. But then this is where things get very interesting, right? According to Sport, they have claimed that Barcelona want a center back who can play left back as they look for someone to replace Umtiti and Firpo. The last time we had a player like that fits that player profile is Jeremy Matthew. And I remember that player. I remember when he signed back in 2014, he was a very useful player that had tremendous quality. Even though he was a tall player, he was like 6'1", 6'2", he was still very fast for his height. And that is why I highly admired a player like him. But now, speaking of today, who do you think could be that player to fit in that profile? Because at the moment, I can't really think of anything of any player who is like 23, 22, 24, who we can say, hey, this is going to be the next best left back in the world. And I'm aware that there are players out there in Argentina and Brazil, but at the moment, there's no real big player where we can say he is up for that challenge. He's going to be in our left back position and center back position for the next 10 to 15 years. But today, about 3 to 4 hours ago, a report came out from Sport 1, and this is what they had to say. David Alaba rejects Bayern Munich first contract offer. And so what a coincidence, right? I read this about Junior Firpo and how he might be traded for a player who can play left back and center back. As soon as I read that, this report came out about David Alaba. He rejected an offer from Bayern Munich. Now, I could be overthinking. I could be trying to put 2 and 2 together. You know me, I always think about everything. I think about it and I overthink it. But having Alaba deny the contract from Bayern Munich, plus adding that Barcelona wants a left back that can play center back or a center back that can play left back, plus seeing the recent history of Barcelona wanting Alaba for the past 6 years, that makes so much sense and such a coincidence to see all of this happen in one day. And as we all know, Alaba is a player who can play left back and center back, and signing Alaba would be a player for the now. And I think that is what Barcelona is looking for. They're looking for a player who can play for the now, someone who is proven that they could play at top level and can bring tremendous quality and value to the club within the first season. And Alaba would be that perfect player to fit in that position. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys like to see Alaba go to FC Barcelona this summer? So thank you guys for watching. That is it for today's Barcelona Daily News. I will see you guys in my next video.